Oh, yeah. There we go. Then I need to do this. This, come here. Okay, here we go. I think we're squared away. Good evening, everybody. How are we doing? Snacks, why are you here already? That's a great question. You told me you had league until 9:30. What's up, Adam? How you doing? BGF, how's it going, my man? Snacks said, crushing these fools. Well, good. Hurry up and get home, because we got a score to settle on a couple of topics. Maybe I tell you what, download Discord on your phone. We'll just patch you in on the way home. Everything will be fine. Bluetooth your car, do something. Nah, it used to be LSX Freak CV. Now it's the VP Hero. But unfortunately, I just don't log in on there anymore either. Yeah, oh, see, I know you have Discord, but I didn't know if you had it on your phone or not. I didn't know what you used to talk to me, Snacks. How wild would that be if you, like, Discorded us while you were, like, on the field? Is that a thing? Justin, what's going on, man? How you doing? BP Hero Podcast, episode number 34 of season 6. Doing a little bit different for the night crew now. Going to this day shift thing. I'm adjusting. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it yet, but I'm adjusting. We'll get there. It's the sleep schedule thing's not too bad, other than just like, I don't know, it just throws off like my day. Like I'm very, very, very much a routine person. So like, it used to be when I came home, I would edit for a little bit, mess around the house here, play some video games and go to bed, or just something in that order. And now it's like I come home, the kids are home, or if not, they're home shortly after. And then, you know, the evening rush starts. You got dinner time, you got everything else. It's been a little bit of an adventure, and it's just something I just got to get used to the routine. What's up, Eric, my man? You made it. How you doing? Yeah, Rec League mic'd up with Snacks. That'd be wild. So, I was gonna say something else. I can't remember what. I gotta quit reading this dang chat all the time. Like, I could sit here and just chat with everybody all the time. Let's see. So who is? I see Patrick talking about the AL wild card. I don't 100% know I'm not up to speed with the AL. I haven't had a ton of time to do that. But hey, how about them Cardinals? They they can leave you wondering all year long and then get hot right at the end. They're on a 10-game win streak. They are just red freaking hot right now. I think the number 2, if I remember correctly, I think the number 2 clinch is 9. If I remember that correctly. So they're plugging away with that. Go Braves. I used to be a Braves guy back in the day. Honestly, I'm just not anymore. I just don't follow them as much as I used to. Big Jason Hayward guy. I loved Jason Hayward when he was in Atlanta. I loved him when he was in St. Louis. And he's still my guy. Even though he's in Chicago, he's still my guy. And I used to have a t-shirt jersey of Hayward when he was a Brave. I had one from when he was a Cardinal. And I keep telling myself I'm going to get one for he's a Cub because it's just he's one of my favorite players. But man, I can't do the Cubs jersey. I'm not bold enough to rock that. It'd be like wear it around the house and hope nobody showed up at the door to say hey because I'm standing here in a Cubs shirt kind of thing. But when I turned the game off, the Cardinals were up by quite a bit. Oh, see, Gio says it there. It's 10-2. Yeah, so when I turned the game off, the Cardinals were rolling again because they are just red hot right now. Which is kind of funny, too. Speaking of which, I kind of do the same thing, you know. It's like you spend all summer kind of up and down, up and down. You have a good tournament, a bad tournament, good tournament, a bad tournament. Then I had between league and tournament play, I had gone, gosh, I don't even remember how many at bats now. It was an absurd amount of at bats. It only made like 3 or 4 outs. I was close to like 50 at bats with only making 3 or 4 outs, whether it be walks or just getting lucky, getting on with an error, things like that. You always get like, you get that win streak. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And I was definitely just more lucky than good. And it always seems to me that like I always hit my best. Like I always hit like that. Like just if you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. Like it doesn't matter where you hit the ball. It doesn't matter what kind of pitch you swing at. It doesn't matter anything. You're going to get a hit no matter what. And I always seem to do that right at the end of the year, after state is over, after nationals is over, and everything else. That's when I get red hot. So frustrating. Jason is a lifelong Cubs fan. Hey, you know what? That's fine, Jason. I don't need your problems here anyway. You're a Cubs fan, and you're always telling me to buy stuff. It's always all expensive. Trying to make me buy some kind of $80,000 cheap, man. Hey, come on now. Hey, I am a Bears fan though. Figure that one out. I'm a Bears fan. Eric says, got bad news today. Our senior tournament for next weekend got canceled again. Eric, why are they canceling? Is it just a COVID thing still, or just not pulling enough teams? Yeah, Justin, you're right. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be effective. Yeah, it's better be lucky than good. I'm telling you. I'm going to step out here for just a second. Give me just a sec, guys. Oh. Okay, all right. Made it back. You still dealing with the air quality stuff out there? I didn't realize that. That's crazy, man. I will say I did swing the Rich's Superior Louisville Senior Bat, and I'm really torn on how that video came out. So I was just going to do like an uncut video. Gabe came out for BP. If you haven't seen the Facebook video, he had trouble trying to figure out. He blew out one of his batting gloves, and he was having trouble trying to figure out what glove he was going to go with next. And he's sitting here trying to ask me. I was like, man, the camera is still running. I was like, man, come on out here. Just let them decide. So I put that little excerpt on there. He actually came out and hit with us. It was me and Gabe and Brian, kind of like the OG crew. And I left it uncut on like a really wide camera angle because Gabe is left-handed. And the camera angle is good because you can see the whole field, you can see everything that's going on, and we were just acting like idiots, you know, just doing usual stuff, because like most of the time we just act like jackasses. We can just edit things out, right? So we kind of decided, like, you know, we're just gonna do our thing. Like, they didn't really know that I'd planned on not editing it, but I thought it'd be kind of cool to post like an uncut video. It was gonna be like a 23 or 24 minute video. Obviously go over like the stuff I needed to with the bat and just kind of lay it in over the top. That way the video would technically be uncut. As far as our swings go, you can kind of listen to our banter a little bit and just hear us kind of talk about the bat as we swing it. But I'm just really unhappy with how the camera angle came out. It's a very, very, very wide camera angle. So a lot of times if it's a ball that goes really far, you can't really see how far it went. You just kind of like see the trajectory and see it disappear. But it's not what I would consider something that would be used for review. I'm not sure. Maybe while we're sitting here I can pull that up. I can get this cord and plug my phone in here. And I'll tell you right now, if you're an iPhone guy, I don't know anything about Androids, what they use or anything else. If you're an iPhone guy, you have to use the Thunderbolt charging cord. It comes with all the newer iPhones. I think they started that with the 11, if I remember correctly. So it's still got the lightning plug on one end, but on the other, it's got the USB-C Thunderbolt port, whatever you want to call it. Dude, cord is a straight ripper. My phone's at 45%. We'll check it when I get done here, but I guarantee you my phone will be almost fully charged in 45 minutes. It's crazy how good it works. It works really good for like data transfers and things because I've been recording my videos with my phone. So it works really good for that because I can transfer files from my phone to my computer really, really fast. So it works out for a lot of things, because actually what I'm going to do, since we're kind of sitting here and blabbing, is I'm going to pull up some of this video here and just get a look at it and kind of see what it looked like. Maybe get your guys' opinion on it while you're here. See if this is something that would still be usable. It might look better on a computer once you get it pulled up too, but I know that a majority of the viewers do watch on their phones. I mean, I watch a ton of YouTube on my phone. Very seldom do I sit down at a computer and watch YouTube. So let's see. Gotta find the files here now. So what's everybody got planned for the weekend, softball-wise? Is anybody playing anywhere? Anybody doing anything? No, I'm not. I'm probably just going to try and jump on the work wagon, work a little bit overtime here. My car is done. The repair shop called me today, said the car is finished up, so I got to go. Honestly, I got to burn a couple more days of gas out of my rental car because I just filled the damn thing up. Not giving them anything. I'm not giving them a dime. So I have to burn the gas out of the rental car. I'll probably go pick my car up anyway and just burn the gas out of the rental car and take it back whenever I get a chance. But, squirrel. It's done, so I'm going to work the overtime for the weekend and make that deductible payment not hurt so bad. Then the weekend after that, we have Home Runs for Heroes. Adam out doing some bat reviews. I've got a ton of stuff filmed, and that's kind of the other thing with... That's kind of the other thing with this day shift thing, is like finding the time to like edit has been a little bit of an adventure. Like I'm on day shift now, and it's not exactly feasible to take my computer to work anymore. I think it's kind of like frowned upon in a way, you might say, because like on midnights, it's not that I'm breaking any rules having my computer at work, but it's just kind of one of those like, you're on midnights, you're not hurting anything. But I could see people like losing their minds if, I'm sitting there with the computer trying to do my thing. I could see people getting all bent out of shape about that. So that's been something that's been a little bit of an adventure. And I still don't have any of these damn bats sold either. I'm about to just post them for $1.50 a piece and just watch them fly out the door. Either that or doing like a big raffle. I got to look and see how many bats I have left and like what I just need out of them, like value wise. But like I thought about just doing like a big raffle for like all of them. Like do 20 numbers at however much a piece. It'd be an expensive raffle, but like look at how many bats you'd win. I don't know. I hate doing raffles, but man, I just thought it'd be kind of something just to giggle at and watch the people maybe file in. I don't know. Maybe it's stuff that nobody wants is why it's hard to sell. But I'm just absolutely losing my butt on some of these things. Let's see. Hopefully I can transfer this file and not make my computer really, really mad. I'll have to keep an eye on it here in our broadcast software. If I start getting really choppy or really wavy or anything, let me know. It's just my computer just absolutely bogged down. Because I'm transferring a gigantic file off of my phone to my computer so we can have a look at this thing here. Let's see, catching up here. No, I have not swung the new Suncoast 240. I saw Bat Bros did his thing on it, and everybody's trying to go out and buy one now. Adam also said it was really good. So apparently the Suncoast Ruckus, the hype is real. But I don't know, not discrediting either one of those guys, but I have been got on hype so many times that, man, it's until I swing it sometimes, I just don't believe it. But I will say, I do take Adam's word for, if a bat is good, it's probably going to be good. He's not going to steer us wrong. Gio, I just answered that. Don't ask it again. Good grief, I'm trying to get caught up here. No, Chris, what I'm thinking, not even 20 a spot, 11 or 12 spots a bat. I'm thinking just raffle the whole freaking lot off. It's like 9 or 10 bats. So it would be, you could do like 20 spots at, I don't know, somebody do the math. 20 spots at, 20 to 50 piece would be $1,000. But you get what I'm saying. Like, it'd be a little bit of an expensive raffle. Like, man, look what you'd get out of it. I've seen some people do some crazy things for some raffles, but I think $50 might be a bit high. I don't know. I'm just sick of looking at them. I need to get them sold, and I'm just that desperate. The Richest Superior wasn't too bad. Dude, it was a bazooka if you got it on the sweet spot. It wasn't bad if you missed, but it was like just like U-trip bat good. Maybe like a little bit of a drop off. Just the sweet spot was really, really small. But dude, when you got it, I mean, there was no doubt. I hit one ball. The wind was blowing, of course, because we're swinging a senior bat and hitting hard balls. Dude, I still absolutely jacked a ball with the wind blowing in. So when the wind is blowing in, I try not to get too consumed in trying to cut through the wind or hit through the wind or hit with the wind, because you wouldn't do that in a game. Maybe the only thing I would do different, if the wind is blowing straight in on me in a game, I'm probably just going to push a lot, because that's like I can kind of control trajectory a little bit better pushing, so I can hit a ball and not let it just hang in the air. But absolutely nuked some balls with that thing. It's just really you got it all or you didn't type of thing.
Alright. We swinging, Greg.
So let me see. I'm gonna pause this. Music.
Oh my god, that was beautiful.
Bring this over here. Broadcast software goes right here. Screen cap monitor number 2. Yurt. So I don't know. You guys tell me. Is this a usable camera angle? Emily says no. It was definitely one of those, it was a little bit light for my liking, but it was one of those, just be smooth with it, and live on the barrel.
Yeah.
Like Gabe's last round with it, he finally got dialed in with it too.
I'd hate to miss it and have it knuckle for 180 feet.
Here they are making fun of me.
God, I can't believe it used.
Oh, then that one got me. Let's see.
I knew where that one was going. I knew where it was going.
That's why he threw it inside. Fucking chicken.
It was actually middle.
Yeah, see, like that ball right there cleared the fence we were on and then cleared the fence on the field behind it. Well, I mean, that ball was probably a good 340-ish, almost on a line, but you can't see it. It just kind of like disappears into the wilderness. I would like it better if you could get to see a little more distance out of them. It just kind of like disappears into oblivion. But I like the idea. I just don't think it worked out the way I wanted it to.
And I made sure it threw a 575.
Cleared 2 fences.
I threw the 575, wanting to feel the heat.
What the hell I wanted. All right. What, 4?
Yeah, lots of banter on this day because we went back and forth about that moment too.
Oh, okay.
Tried hitting the screen with that one.
This batter's box and then straight back up the middle.
Weird, right?
Beth Thomas. Good ball.
I think this might have been the ball here I was talking about. Just hit it through the wind. No.
Oh, it's found.
It's in here somewhere. No. But it damn near went over the tree. But you just can't get a good capture on that. Because of the wide camera angle. But if you guys think it's usable, I'll post it. And if anybody complains about it, I'll just tell them you said it was okay. Yeah, so that's kind of what I was thinking too. Like, normally I would set up the camera to just kind of do whatever, but I wanted to do a little bit of an uncut video. And Gabe is left-handed. That's kind of what. No offense to the guy or anything like that. I'm not like picking on him, but he's left-handed, and I didn't want to just move the camera back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I just went with a really wide angle and just moved it really, really close up behind us. But I'm not 100% thrilled with that, and Eric says the angle's too wide, and it's his bat, so that's what we're going to roll with. Mrs. Hero is not getting on the podcast today. What's up, Sammy? How you doing? Let's see, Batflip BP says, thought about getting a second GoPro to see how far they would go. Yeah, but at the end of the day, like, my whole thing with that is, like, distance claims. I hate distance claims so much. Like, I'm sitting here making them now because this is just kind of like, I like to be real in the podcast. You know, it's kind of like maybe even a little bit of a look about, like, some of the behind-the-scenes stuff, you might say, a little bit in a way. And but I don't like distance claims because somebody either wants to argue about it or they want to think like, oh, look at this guy, he's really good because he can hit a ball this far. There's just so much that goes into distance claims, and you got guys saying, oh, you know, I can hit balls, 425 feet, and then you find out they went, 350 and then rolled the rest of the way. It's just there's way too many variables to go into it for me to make much for distance claims. I think the last time I made a distance claim in a video with like an actual screenshot might have been the freaking Baden Axe of all bats. As much as that pains me to say, that's one of the furthest balls I've ever hit in my life was with that bat. I still to this day haven't lived that down with Brian. I've actually got a picture of Brian digging it out of the trees across the road at the ball field we hit it at. And I tell everybody that it was his ball that he hit it. That's why he's holding it up in the picture. But yeah, the second camera would definitely suck as far as the editing goes. I think if Gabe's going to come out and hit with us more often, what I'll probably end up doing, instead of doing a really wide camera angle, it doesn't do it for me. I think what I'll probably end up doing is just setting up a GoPro on a second tripod, and then when he goes up to hit, I'll just start the GoPro. Because you can adjust camera angles to make the GoPro content look pretty reasonable. Because at one point I was actually thinking about using a GoPro for my main camera to shoot reviews with, but just the phone is just way more convenient for a multitude of reasons. And if it's going to be something like that, though, with having a left-handed hitter, it would be so much easier to have a second camera to just set up when he's hitting. So maybe that's something we'll look into if Gabe's going to start hitting with us more often instead of just doing the super wide camera angle. And of course, like I said, I was wanting to do it uncut as well, because we shot a video on I guess it's not technically the Torch, it would be the Banger that Headbanger Sports just released. The Banger USA, I think, maybe, whatever it is, they just released a couple weeks ago. Gabe bought one, and I'm still fighting this monster review thing, and like dealing with this whole complex of like the whole internet losing their mind if it's not, what they want it to be. So I finally got in a good review on a good bat. Like, it was what I was expecting, and come to find out, just kind of what I was expecting, what I've seen in everything else. Something built around the Torch technology is what I should have went with in the first place. The Torch or the Sinister instead of the Bombardier that I ended up picking up. Brian bought that from me, and he just absolutely loves it. He can't get enough of it. So it is cool that, like, worked out. He likes it, and I'm not saying that it doesn't hit the ball well, but I'll get into that in the video. It's just a weird vibe, but I'm glad that I finally got the Monster monkey off of my back. I've got a video of that I can post and say, hey, this thing hit the crap out of the ball, and it felt good. Checked all the boxes that it should have, so I don't just like have the internet and the whole militia just come raining down on me for saying I don't like a bat. Yeah, Jason, I like the way that Adam does his videos too, with the left field, center, and right field stuff. If my push game was better, I would totally do something like that. But my push game is not that good. He makes that backside swing look so easy. So easy. CDN election results? Talking about the Canadian election results? What are you talking about? With the Monster Bat review, you'll be liked on the Monster page on Facebook. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I mean, maybe the fact that I reviewed one, maybe not, because I'm posting the Bombardier first because I swung it first. And I'll, obviously allude to and say, hey, there's another one coming. This didn't blow me away. I want to give it a chance, blah, 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 blah. And allude to that there is a Torch coming. But I genuinely feel like, just based on some of the posts and screenshots and things that I've seen that people say about me in those groups, that hell will come raining down, and I'm not sure I care. I did for the longest time, and now I don't. I've got a couple of pictures that I need to snap. I actually got the bat from Brian on Monday, so I can snap a couple of pictures that I've been needing to finish that review, and it can go up. So maybe be looking for that here soon. Patrick, I don't know. I'm not real big into politics, like, at all, bro. So the Canadian election results, nothing for me. Nothing for me. I didn't even know they were having an election. If that tells you anything, I do not do politics in the slightest. People want to stand around and argue and get irate. Like, I've got a friend of mine, his grandma would have to take a blood pressure pill if she got to talking about it, because she would get so worked up. It's like, dude, I get being passionate and caring about the decisions that are made in this country, but you're going to argue with some random schmuck about it? It's just not worth it. Not worth the problems. And also, don't forget, I meant to mention this earlier and I forgot. Do not forget, there will be, this is your 3 podcast warning. We're going to be creating a second channel for the podcast. I meant to mention that when we started. And I didn't, I forgot, but there will be a second channel coming specifically for the podcast. When that goes up, I'll post it here. I'll post it on Facebook. I'll post it on Instagram because I'm on there so much. But that stuff will be on there. I'll post it all here, post it everywhere. You'll probably get tired of looking at it, but I want to make sure that everybody knows that we are going to be rolling out a second channel for the podcast just to clean the main channel up. And let's see. Jason says, what bats do I have for sale? Is it on my Facebook? Jason, I'm probably just going to keep it simple and roll with just BP Hero Podcast. You know, maybe BP Hero Podcasts with an S or whatever, just, you know, because it's obviously plural. I'm working on getting something rolling for like some legitimate artwork for both channels. So as soon as I get all that figured out, I'll have more information on that stuff, and like I said, get the channel up so you guys can run over and subscribe to it, all 200 of you that watch it. See, he wants to know what bats do we have for sale. Oh goodness, see if I can find them on here. I'm sure I can. BP0. Boom, here we go. Load up. Then we'll go screen cap monitor 2 again. Boom. So the antivirus is gone. The Resmondo's gone. I've got the Dale Brungart Nihilist, which is ASA, 27 ounce. These are all 27s, except for the Freak 30. This Noon Wrapper is a 25. The two Louisvilles, not even a single nibble on those. The Juno, not a single nibble. The Easton's gone. Still got the Freak 9R, which is a rocket launcher. Somebody should really buy that. And then the ASA Freak 23. And then I've got, I want to say 1 or 2 more to throw in here. I got the Vanilla Gorilla. I need to swing and get the review knocked out on. And then I've also got the ASA Worth ASA Mach 1 Balanced, which was another just bazooka of a bat. But I've got all this stuff for sale. I can't even move it. I mean, I'm willing to be pretty open on prices. Let's see. Get this scrolled down here so you can see these old prices. But it just can't get rid of them to save my life. I'm probably going to do another price drop, and if that don't work, I don't know what I'm going to do. Put them on eBay maybe, just like people fight over them on there. But eBay takes so much of your dang money anymore that it's a struggle sometimes. Oh, nice. Okay, I didn't know that was your day job was the artwork. Your artwork looks good. I'll give you that. It looks really good. Drop me a message so I can like get in contact with you. I'd definitely rather give my business to, you know, someone I know or someone in the slow pitch scene. So drop me a message wherever you want, and I can we can get hooked up for sure. That would be dope. Yeah, Jason, hit me up on Instagram. The Freak 30, we're just kind of, it is honestly probably priced a little bit high. I think it's at I put it up at $330, just thinking somebody might come along and nibble at it. I kind of did it. I hate to say it, but I kind of did it with intent. I tried to put it up and manipulate the prices around stimulus checks coming in. Everybody getting like their tax credits and everything else. So I was kind of trying to take advantage of that a little bit. Price is negotiable on that for sure. And then the Freak 9R, I've got it at $155. It's only got 125 swings on it. It's got a seam, but I don't think it's anywhere close to cashing in yet. But I haven't even had a single nibble, a message, or anything on it. I feel like $150 for a bat that just came out with a return and a receipt is pretty good. But like you see other people that like they post a picture of their bat from like, I'm 90% certain that sometimes they're not even in the same room as their bat. Like they might be able to see it through like the angles of doors. They'll zoom in really far and take a picture, put some ridiculously vague comments about it, and it'll sell in 10 minutes for way more than what it should have. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Like I go into putting all this detail and stuff in, and get nothing. And meanwhile, somebody with like the crappiest post on the planet can sell something in 5 minutes. Jason, I'll hit you up when we get in here. I just got your Instagram message. I'm going to leave my phone screen closed so I don't forget to answer you. I'll deal with your crap in a little bit. The price is probably actually going to go up a little bit since you're a Cubs fan, so that is something else too that I do have to consider. So one thing, I don't think I talked about it last week. It was on my list, and I'm like 99% certain I didn't talk about it last week. Somebody stop me if I did. As far as like what makes a good, what do you want? I guess you could call it a coach / manager in slow pitch. As I'm sitting here talking about it, I almost know I didn't talk about it last week because I saved a topic. And what I mean by like a good coach or manager, I'm not talking someone that puts a team together per se. Most of the time, whoever puts a team together does run it and make the lineups and everything else. But as far as using what you've got, putting lineups together, knowing your situations and that kind of thing, like what makes a good coach or manager? And there's more to it than just slapping a lineup on the post and going on. Like you can help your team so much by doing just the little things. Making lineups unbiased is a big one. In my opinion, you know, you've got, this guy, you know, hits bombs and can do this and do that. You know, we need to put him in the 4-hole. Well, you know, what if he gets in a game and he's always rolling over on stuff, or, you know, he can hit home runs in BP. So we need to put him there, and he gets in a game and he hits nothing but backside. I know a couple of people like that. Can hit balls 50, 60 feet further than I can, but you get him in a game and all they want to do is live down the right field line. You got to build your lineups based on what people do in games, not what people are capable of. And I learned that the hard way. For years, we would always, you know, pick up guys and build lineups based around, you know, how good a guy is in BP, or we saw him play a couple of times, like, he's really good, he did this or he did that. What if he was just feeling himself that day? Because, you know, we've had it happen before. We pick somebody up after seeing him play really well and thinking like, you know, this guy's going to be it. This guy's going to be, you know, our next best thing and everything else. And you get him picked up and comes and plays a couple tournaments, and it's like, now what do we do? Turns out he just had a really good day. And it's not so much when it came to, like, when I was running a team and helping run teams, it wasn't so much like, you know, we're going to do away with this dude if we picked him up and he's going to play softball with us or anything else. What it more has to do with is finding a spot for him to go. We've seen what he can do. I mean, there's obviously a reason that we took him in and took him onto our team, because we know what he's capable of, but we need to put him in a position to be comfortable to do that. Emily thinks that's really funny, apparently. Over here watching stupid TikToks. But, so yeah, it's one of those things, you got to make somebody feel comfortable in their environment. One thing that was nerve-wracking for me, getting picked up a couple different times, just go play like some small podunk stuff, and getting put in the 3 or 4 hole, and then like people just like gather around when I step in the box. I'm like, freaking great. Like these guys think I'm like this second version of Jesus on a softball field. And that's not the case at all. It's BP hero, not game time hero. People need to learn that. But being able to make your lineup the right way, knowing what guys are capable of, knowing what guys can do, keeping stats. And I don't mean like, you know, this guy had a hit, this guy had a hit, this guy had a hit. Like keeping stats, RBIs, runs scored, that type of thing. It's time consuming, and it's a lot of work. But man, you can look at your spreadsheet, your book, however you keep your stats, and see who is doing what. And if you put them in a different position, they might be able to produce even more. Like we had a guy, one year I ran a team. I had a guy, his batting average was like mid 450s, but his RBIs were almost double the team's total. And it was nothing more than the team was, you know, the guys in front of him were doing a good job of getting on, and he's moving runners. He's either hitting home runs, hitting sac flies, or he is getting hits. And there was times where he would give himself up just to get a run across. There's so many different things that go into stuff like that. Like if this guy's willing to sacrifice himself to get runs across the plate, I'm not saying that's something you want to do a ton in slow pitch, because I mean he still had a ton of RBI, so he's still getting hits. But there was times when he was willing to give himself up too, just to be able to have runs across. You gotta understand the happy medium there. But seeing that made me realize, because I had people question me, why is he hitting here in the lineup? Well, he's generating runs like you cannot imagine. That's why. And it's crazy. Sorry, I'm reading. It's crazy to see how some people just look at averages or OBP and nothing else, and your lineup is kind of a mess. You got to be unbiased. You've got to stop and think, like, what does this lineup need the best in order to thrive? And you might have guys that could be really good hitters for other teams and come to you and want to be a different type of hitter, maybe because they feel like they're in a better position now and they can do what they're comfortable with. There's a million different variables that go into that. So making a lineup and being unbiased about it and being like true to yourself, even if it means moving yourself down, moving yourself up, that's another big one. I harp on Brian about that all the time. So Brian's running his team, and I'm always giving him crap because like he is very, very high. When I departed the team, he was very, very high in OBP, had a ton of walks. I mean, an absolute ton, which tells me you're willing to give up your swings to get on base for the team. Be up in the lineup so somebody can drive you in. Brian, if you're listening. And that's anybody. Like, if you're willing to take a bunch of walks, like, and that's where maybe looking at batting average wouldn't be a good thing. If your OBP is high because you're taking walks, then, like I said, put him somewhere that he's not necessarily going to be relied on to move runners around, but he can be on base to be moved around. And another thing is keeping book for both sides. This is something that I kind of picked up from, I'm sure other people have done it beforehand, but I noticed it with Kevin Roach. I don't even know if he watches or listens to this stuff anymore or not. I know he used to drop in every once in a while. I know I've got plenty of St. Louis guys that'll probably say something to him because I'm sitting here talking about him. But I really noticed it when I started playing with Kevin a little bit, is he keeps a book for both sides, and it's not runs and hits and everything else. He's calling out as every batter gets in the box. He's calling out where they hit the ball last, their last 2-3 bats or anything else. Or even if you've played a team once already that day, you've already got somewhat of a scouting report on what they like to do, what they're probably going to do. And he calls out every batter where they hit the ball last time or they're likely to hit the ball. And it makes such a difference for being on the mound and wanting to set yourself up to be able to throw a good at bat to this guy, and setting your defense up as well. Like, if I know that a guy is wanting to be push heavy, that's fine. I'm going to stack my defense on the push side and throw him outside, let him hit into my defense. Kevin calls out, somebody likes to pull the ball. He pulled the ball the last 3 times, or, even if it's hit middle, hey, Jess, last 2 at you. Okay. Well, I'm pinching my infielders up the middle, and I'll just toss him a cookie and, let him hit it back at me or one of the other people. A coach that can, coach, manager, whatever you want to call it, that can keep a book for both sides and keep track of what the other team is doing is huge. Because there's times where, stuff all just kind of runs together for me sometimes, especially when I get in the zone, dude, I don't hear anything. I don't hear anybody talking. I don't hear what anybody's saying to me. I don't hear what's going on around me. But it's kind of one of those things, like, if I know to listen for Kevin, I know he's going to call out what this batter's going to do or what this batter's likely to do. Like, I can pick that up. I can listen to that. But I don't know. It's weird when you get in the zone. Maybe if you're a pitcher, you can weigh in on that a little bit. But when I get in the zone like that, I don't hear anything. I don't see anything. Somebody's like, hey, I was saying this to you. Man, you unless I look at you, when I'm on the field, and it's a hitting thing too. Because when I'm walking up to the plate or I'm in the on-deck circle, there's a lot of times where I'm focused on the game, focused on getting myself in a mindset. And so, and if I'm on a field, on the dirt, anywhere, out of the dugout, basically, if I don't make eye contact with you, then I probably didn't hear what you said. So eye contact is big for me. Like, hey, lock in here. Like, I'm telling you this, I'm telling you that, whatever else. So, keeping a book back to going full circle here. Keeping a book for both sides makes a world of difference in your defense. Makes especially as the day goes on, or maybe even going out and scouting a guy a little bit. I've taken Kevin's approach and kind of applied my own little twist to it. If I'm sitting down and watching a team that I feel like we might see later in the day, I might make notes in my phone, or make notes on, if I've got a piece of paper or a scorebook even with me. Emily thinks that's really funny too. She's TikToking it up over here. I hate TikTok. But anyway, she said she hates me, and I believe that. But, oh. I broke wind. But anyway. I'm going to get myself giggling over here. I'm telling you what. I'm telling you right now. If you can't laugh at a toot, we can't be friends. But here we go. Back on topic. So the last two kind of go hand in hand. Keeps a book for both sides. Like I said, scouting for a team you might see later in the day. I'm writing down and kind of keeping track of, where guys like to play, where guys like to hit, and kind of making notes to myself. Maybe it's in my head, or like I said, in my phone, maybe on a book. If I've got one, I've done that a handful of times. Just to prepare yourself for later in the day. You can never prepare too much, especially if you are someone the team might be relying on. Like, I'm not saying that every manager should do that, or maybe that's way too serious, but it makes a world of difference, and that's what makes a good coach, manager type person that much better. The more you can do to help your team, the better off you'll be. Let's see. Tony says, to confirm last week's video, T-work is the key to getting out of slumps. Shout out to BP. 2 for 8 last week, 7 for 8 this week. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, especially guys like you, Tony, like, you're a good hitter. Dude, when you're locked in, there is no getting you out. So sometimes it's just going through the motions a little bit. It's not so much work on this, work on that, focus on this, focus on that. Dude, if you're a good hitter, your swing got you where you are. Don't go changing your swing every time something goes wrong. And this is just to anybody, not you, Tony. This is just anybody can apply this. Like, if you're a good hitter and you hit the ball well and that kind of thing, if you get a little bit of a funk, don't start changing things. Don't start moving around the box. Don't do this with your hands. Don't do that with your feet. And trust your guns, man. Get your tee out. Go out and do some tee work. Get that repetitive motion back down. More than likely, something in your muscle memory is flawed. More than likely, it just might be something you didn't realize you were doing. Maybe you started a habit you didn't realize you were doing. But one thing that drives me batty is, somebody can go out for an at-bat, miss-hit a ball, and come back in and say, oh, was I dipping? Was I doing this with my hands? Well, did I cross my feet up, or did I move my back foot? You're thinking way too much about it. You are thinking way too much about what went wrong. If you're getting in the box and telling yourself, do this with your hands, do that with your hands, make sure your bat's doing this, make sure your foot does this, dude, you're beating yourself up. Snack, sorry if you're here. You've already beat yourself the second you get in the box. When you get in the box, your focus needs to be on putting the best swing on a ball that you can. That doesn't mean hit it as hard as you can. Finesse can be involved in some of this. I've learned that as I've gone on. But putting the best swing on a ball that you can, and when I say the best swing, I mean strike it well, do what the situation needs, not make sure your elbow's tucked in and your hands are palm up, palm down, and your foot lands where it's supposed to. No, that's stuff that should be second nature, should be natural. You shouldn't be thinking about that in a game while you're trying to hit a ball. That's things you apply in BP. That's things you apply to T-work especially, because T-work especially is repetitive motion, right? You're going to take the same swing every time, especially if you're looking to... What are you doing? Oh, I have to look at a dog TikTok.
It's Nikki's dog. It's not TikTok.
Well, I'm sorry. Okay, I have to watch a Snapchat. I don't Snapchat either.
Oh my god, he's so
It's a ferocious animal. We really like dogs around here. No. Unless somebody's... Hey, Jason, don't even say a word. If you heard her, don't say a word about buying a dog, because you're all about buying irrelevant and irrational things. Yeah, don't worry about it. She said, who's Jason? Does he want to be my friend? Of course. Yeah. What else do you know? Jason, let me guess. We need a dishwasher too, right? Washing machine, dryer. What else are you going to try to talk me into buying? Oh yeah, see, he just said dot, 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 dot. Yeah, this guy's not a good influence. He's definitely getting the Cubs upcharge, and he's definitely getting the, oh, you know what? You're trying to buy a bat. Let me help you out, friend. Yeah, girls like Jeeps. Yeah, girls like Jeeps. You don't say. But anyway, back on topic. After I got derailed again. So teamwork is good, man. Don't ever think it's not. I'm telling you. Teamwork is the bee's knees. But I think we're gonna wrap it up for the podcast here. I'm gonna hang out here for just a minute. If anybody's got any topics, questions, anything like that, I'm more than willing to cover them here before I wrap up. I usually try and go an hour, but oh, okay, we got Jeffrey Martell checking in. I haven't even seen this name in the comments before. This man says, so when you getting a dog? Yeah, no. Yeah, I know. Yeah, surely here in News we've got one. I don't even know where it's at. We already got one dog. We don't need another dog. And Jason says hello. I think he's trying to make friends with you already. Yeah, we know. No, she did not say hi back. But yeah, so I will wrap it up a little bit early unless anybody's got, questions or topics or anything like that doesn't pertain to dogs, Jeeps, or purses. I'll answer that. I usually like to try and go at least an hour, but just kind of hit that spot where we could wrap up unless anybody wants to drop anything out there. Let's see. So I do know as far as review stuff, what'll be coming next. I'm planning on honestly doing the Bombardier probably tomorrow or the next day. It's going to kind of depend on what league looks like tomorrow or even the time available to do some editing. So I'm looking to get that review posted soon. And I want to do, I think I might have mentioned this a while back. And I want to do like a reaction video. So DW, SW48, if you don't know, he covers the conference events. He's always doing like condensed games and highlight footage and stuff like that. And he posted a video that was just a video of like the longest home runs, from a certain time period. He kind of put them all in one montage, and I thought it'd be really cool to like do a reaction video to that. Like I didn't watch the video myself, so it's not like it's gonna be a fake like ooh type reaction. Like I can react real time with watching this thing and then post it. I've already talked to him. He said he's totally cool with doing that. Head over and check out his channel, SW48, if you haven't already. Tons of good content on there. You can even learn a little bit from watching those guys to a certain extent. What you can really learn from watching upper players play and upper teams play is sitting and watching them. You can do that obviously a little bit through his videos, but like sitting and watching in person, watching them play, kind of watch how they carry themselves and that kind of thing can let you hear what they talk about, let you hear how they approach things, can help you, maybe apply something to your game. Anytime you can surround yourself with really good ball players, you're more than likely going to learn at least something. What kind of dog are we talking? We're not talking a little dog. It's going to be a big dog. A friend of hers just got a golden retriever, and I really do love me some golden retrievers. If anybody watches Cletus McFarland, if anybody watches Cooper Baghetti, if anybody watches Faster Proms, those are all car channels, YouTube car channels. Faster Proms is actually the guy that's breeding all these dogs and selling them to other YouTubers. They are the most gorgeous golden retrievers. My dad has had 2 golden retrievers. He's still got 1, and I've got a soft spot for retrievers. But we've always had labs. We've got a black lab right now, but she's wanting a golden retriever, and I feel like we need to get on the dog. We need to get on the chocolate lab. But at the same time, 2 dogs is kind of a pain in the ass sometimes. Let's see, what's up with Ryan Harvey? Is he hurt? No, Ryan Harvey's been playing as far as I know. There's actually a few clips of him in one of the videos that DW posted. I don't know. I think they might be saving guys like him for the Major World Series coming up. Because, let's see, Smash It won the conference event this past weekend, the conference championship, and Purcell didn't even dress out. I'm not even sure Purcell was there on Sunday, but I don't think he even dressed out. I saw somebody else that looked like they might have had his jersey on, just so everybody was uniform. And sometimes teams will do things like that if either A, they don't feel like they need him, or B, the end of the year is more important to them. And I have seen that happen a handful of different times. I actually believe last year they didn't throw Purcell at the conference championship either. Purcell's almost 50 years old out there, just still just throwing it up like it's unreal. And you know, a guy like that, sometimes you just got to save him. You got to save him just to prevent injury. Maybe he's already hurt and sore, doesn't want to hurt himself any further. Yeah, the manager had Purcell's jersey on. Yeah, I knew I saw it on somebody. I didn't pay attention to who it was. And yes, Ryan Harvey did win the home run title. Flip Washington won the OBP title with something absurd like an 840. Something like that. Now, I have seen and heard rumors that he only plays against, you know, he'll play against the teams that they should dog walk, basically to you know, pad his stats, and then if it's a decent team that, you know, they should still beat, but it might be a little bit of a competition that he's been sitting. I can't confirm that, but I've heard that from a few different people that he's just kind of picking and choosing when he wants to play, just so his numbers can be, so his numbers can be good. I don't know that for sure, but either way, you're hitting 840 at any level. That's impressive. You could hit 840 indeed. I'm going to say, damn, that dude's a good hitter. Like, as you move up in ranks, more than likely your average or your OBP or whatever is going to go down. But if you're hitting 840 in D, you're doing something right. So you're going to be able to apply that to just about any level. You've obviously figured out something to hitting the ball where people are not. And one of the most impressive stats, I haven't looked at it much this year, one of the most impressive stats that I think it might just be a DW that keeps it. I think he figures it up on his own, or maybe it is something that's made its way into the stat sheet for the conference, is OBP and average minus the home runs. That's a big one. That's a big one. Being able to get on base and live on base without hitting a ball where somebody can't catch it. Seeing some of those numbers, I remember one year, Dennis Ruley, talking a little bit of OG stuff here. Dennis Ruley's numbers were just absolutely absurd because he didn't hit a ton of home runs. He could hit a home run on the normal fields, and I even saw him get out of the stadium a couple of times. But dude, he made a living just hitting the ball past somebody, getting on base, taking walks, doing whatever he had to do to make sure that he was on base. It was that is extremely impressive. I'm not saying that these guys that can hit a ball a country mile aren't impressive. Do not misunderstand me when I say that. But there's something to be said for the guys that can hit for a stupid high average and keep the ball in the park too. Yeah, Adam says, go compare Josh Riley's at-bats to Flips. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So either MPT just isn't playing a ton is why, and I shouldn't say not playing, but it hasn't been getting a lot of games in, is maybe why Flips is so low, because Josh Riley, I mean, Resmondo's been playing pretty well. But at the same time, you know, maybe it is, you know, him trying to lay back and just make sure his average stays high. Who knows? Who cares? 840 at any point in the season beyond like the first couple of tournaments is absurd. So the fact that he is, you know, played obviously enough to be relevant, because you have to have a minimum number of at-bats.
We must pay homage to him.
That's you got to give credit where credit's due, no matter what. I don't care what anybody says about it. Even if Josh Riley did have double the at-bats, can't take anything away from Josh Riley either. You just can't. The dude's literally a professional hitter. And yeah, Jeff, I'm the same way. I do love the crafty guys that you can't ever get out. It's impressive to watch them hit. One of the locals here that, if anybody is to happen to be local watching this, Jason Allison is the name that comes to mind. That guy has been playing softball longer than I've been alive, probably, and he's just automatic. He is. I'm guessing Jason. I don't know for sure, so hopefully it doesn't get back to him. But I'm guessing Jason's got to be close to 50 years old. Still plays one of the dirtiest middle infields of anybody around here. Just his hands are smooth. He puts himself in the right spot every time. He understands what he's up against as far as age and mobility and that kind of thing. So he positions himself and manipulates. He manipulates the game. He is one guy that could truly manipulate the game and still the smoothest, fastest set of hands in the ballpark. His arm isn't what it used to be, and he'll tell you that, but it doesn't matter. He gets rid of the ball so fast, it doesn't matter how hard he throws it. I mean, it's in his hands, in his glove, and out of his hands, but before you can even realize what's happened, it's insane. Whether it be picking it from the ground, whether it be catching a throw and throwing it to first, it doesn't matter. It's crazy. But he is one guy that comes to mind. And another one, and I know you're going to be listening to this later, and I don't care, my man Snacks. He's always down on himself. Confidence is a thing for him, and it is for everybody to a certain extent. That guy's just got to believe in himself. When he is locked in and he's not thinking about anything other than being a hitter, the guy is just impossible to get out. Absolutely impossible. I've talked to a few different pitchers that say, like, man, you know, when that guy's locked in, I hate pitching to him. You can't throw him anything he can't hit. So when you catch up to this later, my friend, just know we're here talking about you. And it's in a good regard, of course. You're a good hitter. Go act like one. But I'm going to check out. Squeezed into the hour mark, just like we wanted to. It worked out great. So thanks for stopping in and checking out the podcast. Don't forget the second channel's coming soon. Swing hard in case you hit it. BP here. Catch you next time.